Today we're going to be making fudge for a very special someone who was born in 1950. Look at this cute little 1950s truck that we got for him. This is something his mom always made every Christmas. So it always reminded him of his mom, and he always requested that we make it every year, and I could never get it right. Well, hopefully this is going to be it. So this is probably the 10th year of trying different recipes. Sad thing is he's not going to be here to taste it because he passed away a few months ago. We're still making fudge for him. We have a half stick of butter. We're starting this off on a medium-high heat. And then we're going to add in 12 ounces, which is the equivalent of 1 can of evaporated milk. Then after this butter melts and this milk gets warm, we're going to add in 3 cups of sugar. Now, we're not going to add it yet because that'll just cause us to have to stir for a couple extra minutes longer than necessary. Once you get this up to a mild boil, we're going to add in half a teaspoon of salt, and 3 cups of sugar. And did I mention today that today would have been my father-in-law's 74th birthday? Yep. Now we're going to stir this sugar in and keep stirring until it's all the way melted and back up to a boil. Just keep stirring until it comes back to a boil. Look at that. We have sweetened condensed milk. That's exactly what this is. Sweetened condensed milk, the easy way. But if you were to buy that much sweetened condensed milk, that'd probably cost you about $10 by today's prices. Oh. It even looks and smells like sweetened condensed milk. I'm sure that that's exactly sweetened condensed milk. Well, I've been making it the hard way my whole life. I did make a video on sweetened condensed milk and evaporated milk. If you guys want to check that out, because I will link that video down below in the description. Now we're coming up to that boil. Once you hit that full boil, remove your spatula. Make sure it's not going to overflow your pan. Do not stir ever again at this point. Set your timer for 7 minutes if you live in a high altitude like I do here in Idaho. Might only be 5 or 6 minutes if you live close to sea level. So while you're waiting for your boil time, you got 7 minutes to spare. We're going to chop 1 cup of nuts, walnuts. Oh. We're going to chop, this is just a little over half a cup of chopped nuts, so 1 cup to start with. You're going to need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And you're going to need 10 ounces of mini marshmallows. And we're going to need 1 24-ounce package of almond bark. But we're going to chop this into squares real quick. And then you're going to line an extra large cookie sheet with very deep sides with aluminum foil. I only have these crappy little sheets from the dollar store, so we have overlapped them in the center here, which is just fine. When we pour this in, we will pour it onto the top layer, because if you pour it onto this bottom piece here, it'll go up and under. But as long as you pour it onto this top layer here, it'll just seal that up. You want to put this on your stove because it's going to be real hot when it comes off. You don't want to crack a tile on your counter. And I can hear the change in the sound. And you notice how it suddenly like dropped down and started to sound different? Like it's going through the change right now. Just don't stir it or you'll crystallize the sugars. If you do accidentally stir it once because you forgot, then you got to keep stirring the entire boiling process. So you could do it either way, because a lot of people have controversy over stir or not to stir. You could do it either way, but you got to either stir constantly or don't stir at all. There's no in the middle. Okay, time's up. Turn this burner off. Don't try to move your pan away from the burner or anything else like that. It's dangerous. You don't want to have to move this unless you have to. Okay, we're going to plop that chocolate in here one at a time because we don't want it to splash. Just using the spatula to kind of guide it down and just get it close to the water or the level of the water before you let go, and then it'll just go in instead of splash. All right. Get the rest of this messy chocolate in there. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla, some mini marshmallows, or the equivalent of 10 ounces. And the nuts. Oh. Now carefully, make sure your pan's not hot before you grab it. Stir this. You just really don't want to stir it. Keep on folding it together until it is mixed. Okay, so stir until your arm falls off. Once you get that all mixed in, we're going to just tip the pan sideways like this. We're going to scrape it all down into one blob onto one side so that we can pour easier without having to get like burned, because that's hot. Now we're just going to spoon it right here into the center onto the overlapping piece of foil, and I'm resting the bottom of my pan down on the cookie sheet behind me so that I'm not supporting all that weight. Scrape that all out right into one giant pile here, because that'll keep it from cooling off until we get to the spreading it. Okay, now we can slowly start spreading, but you make sure you don't go backwards against your foil. Oh, that set up so much faster than I was hoping for. So I'm going to put this in the oven on low broil for just about 2 or 3 minutes to get it melted out in a smooth, glossy finish here. And the sides are going to be fine to touch, but don't grab it by the bottom. Don't touch the bottom, just the sides here. Broil. Screw it. We're doing on high. Start kitchen timer, 3 minutes. Let's do 3 minutes. That should do the trick. After 2 or 3 minutes under the broiler, it's got a nice smooth coat here. You should use the back of a spoon. You might need to butter it to smooth this out. And I tasted it. Oh my gosh, I think this is it. Oh, happy birthday, Dennis. Oh my goodness. Actually, I'm just going to use a parchment paper to smooth this out. Be way easier. Let's see here. Oh, perfect. This is totally optional, but I like my fudge to look beautiful, smooth, and pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to use this spoon to spread this all around. Get it as thin as I can. Oh, perfect. Just perfect. Yes. That's gorgeous. Okay, now you could put this into a fridge or a freezer if you want to expedite the process of cooling. But I wouldn't think many people would be able to fit this large cookie sheet into their fridge or freezer. Just remember, this pan's hot. Don't touch it. Turn it over onto this side here. This parchment paper is keeping all that heat in there. Oh man, that's going to be such a beautiful, smooth, glossy finish. Here we go. I'm about to show you. It makes a lot of fudge. This is a big batch of fudge. Oh my goodness, perfect. Okay, and if you're not in a high elevation, you're probably going to boil for 6 minutes and not 7 minutes. You'll really be able to tell when you hear the sound of it change that you've reached that point, and you just want to go a little past that point just to be sure. Just listen to it and you'll hear it. Oh, look at that, all the way to the edge. So perfect. Oh my goodness, look at, it's gonna make us this beautiful, beautiful crust on top. So pretty. Oh my, now if that's not enough fudge. Okay, now for the reveal. Oh, look at how beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna let this cool for a few hours before we cut it. Oh, let's do this. Okay. The fudge is ready. Okay, so this is the sheet that's on the top here. So we're going to leave it on the top. Unfold the foil edges here. And you want to leave these up and out so you got a handle. And now we're just going to lift it up over this edge. And ta-da! Look at that. And just a very little bit of the butter and the oil went through our tin foil right here. No, it's bad. Yeah. This is a burn mark from my old cookie sheet. But I'm hoping that this really cute little design that's on the bottom of my cookie sheet transformed onto my fudge. But we'll see. Let's cut it.
Yeah, so be a taste tester?
Yes. Everybody can be a taste tester. When you make fudge, it's for everybody. But we're going to take some to Grandma Florence today also. Then we'll make some more if we need more. Okay, so you just unfold your foil here so that's nice and flat. And then I have an extra large pizza cutter that I'm going to be using to cut mine. And okay, then we're just going to use this to cut this into half and in half and in half and in half until we end up with bite-sized squares. Then when you get done cutting it, you stack it up on a plate so that everything's kind of overlapping like this. And here you go. Look at how yummy. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.